Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, Black Woman Says, if you earn less than 50K, you need to bring this to the table. Let's get right into it.
No, if you make 38,000, you need to be handy. You need to know how to hang a light bulb and put a fan up and put on a light switch. If you make $38,000 a year, you better cut the grass, you better wash dishes, cook food, wash clothes, fold, I mean, everything. Like, if you, literally, it has to we talked about this, remember? Again, if you're an electrician, you add value to your household by knowing how to do all the electrical stuff. So your 38 is now, I don't know, 72. I don't know, you know, like you.
And it just goes to show you how hypergamy works. If you make more money, you could bring less to the table as a man, right? And if you earn less money, you got to bring more to the table as a man. Now, I'm the kind of dude, I'm handy. You know, I grew up laying tiles, painting walls. We installed a hot water heater in my house, you know. So I did plumbing, a little bit of electrical work. Nothing too serious with electrical. I ain't want to lie with you. You don't want to play with electrical. But ultimately, you know, the way I look at it is, all right, sure. So if you want to give wealthy men a privilege and an advantage, we're going to say this too. If you're an attractive woman, yeah, you could bring less to the table. But if you're like a 5 or a 4, if you're an average looking girl, you better know how to clean. You better know how to cook. You better know how to fold. You better know how to do dishes. Yeah. So you're not that attractive. If you're less attractive, we could agree on this. If you're less attractive, you got to bring more to the table. So I'm agreeing with her. That means she needs to bring more to the table as well.
Double. That's a stretch.
Well, no, because that's a
other value.
Because you know, wait, hold on.
That's a hustle. Because you got your job and you got your side gigs. No, that's a hustle.
But that's what women need to understand too. If you only make 38,000, 50,000, you better cook. You better clean. You better wash my clothes. You better fold them and iron them and hang them up.
No.
He's saying for the money amount. I don't care about how much money y'all got, for all y'all. But the more attractive you are, I might let things slide. But the less attractive you are, girl, you better be every woman I can hire in the neighborhood to do stuff for me in this crib.
No, because that is your value. That's your tangible value. Now you're 50,000. If you make $50,000 as a woman, you better come correct and do your due diligence in that household the same way as a man who makes $50,000 better know how to be handy. He better know how to do what, you know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's different.
It's not.
One is a life skill. If you're an adult, you should be able to wash your clothes. If you're an adult, you should be able to feed yourself. If you're an adult, you should be able to pay a bill. Like, there's things like life skills. Being handy is a plus. It's not a life skill that you need to have to survive.
But then you know that
I can cook, clean, everything, but I don't know how to
But most women can't. They can't. And honestly, knowing how to follow a man's lead is a skill too. Learning how to shut up is a skill too. There's a lot of skills you women don't have. I'm just being honest. Some of y'all think all y'all need is looks. I disagree. You need more than looks. Looks are not enough. If you look good, you know what I'm saying, but you got a bad attitude, you got to make up for it. Like, everything you're deficient in, you better make up for it. Because clearly women give all the privilege, all the advantages to wealthy men. So we're going to give all the privileges and advantages to beautiful women who are cooperative. Those women, if you're beautiful and you're cooperative, you might not need any other skill than those two.
hang a TV.
So,
is that going to affect my life in any way? No, but I will be fine.
But you know what happens? Now let's be realistic. Now you have a man and a woman. Now let's just say they both making the same amount of money, right? 38,000.
Let's say 50.
Okay, 50. He makes 50, you make 50. All you do is cook and clean. This is how we get back to the original question. I'm now fixing everything in this house. My value is saving us money. So now my value, you said, from 38 might be worth 72. So if we take that same ratio, my 50 is now worth 100. So now when I make that 100, and now you tell me you working too, you don't want to cook because you tired. It's like, nah, sweetheart. Because technically,
I agree.
We make the same, but we're not worth the same in this relationship.
Well, no, you are worth the same but you have to be able to do it. You have to, like, she has to hold up her end of the domestic whatever.
Agreed.
You got to hold up your end of your handy shit. Everybody has a role to what? Oh, sorry. Everybody has a role to play, and everybody needs to be willing to play that role. Perfect example. In my house, I do the majority of the cooking and cleaning. You know why? Because Shut up.
But why is it bad though? This is my
No, because I know why you dabbing me up.
Imagine that. That's somebody's wife. I think she's decently attractive. I like her hairstyle. I think it's a great natural hairstyle. Her energy's way too like a dude for me personally. Respect to this content creator, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her though. She's a wife, so she understands the play. She understands the play, you know. But my problem is her trying to demand what men who make under 50K should do. Listen, every man, in my personal opinion, deserves a woman that could follow him, help him with his life as far as cooking, cleaning, doing chores around the house, as he protects her and provides for her. Every man deserves this. So, women, in their mind, only the best men deserve the best. Every other man deserves the least. You know what I'm saying? You got to do less for him because he earns less. It's retarded. It's ridiculous, you know. And if we flip this on them, they wouldn't like it, you know. But as far as this woman being married, it's impressive to me. Shout out to her. So maybe she has some value, but she seems like she wears the pants in a relationship. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But then again, there are some black women that sound like this, but they're feminine.
You know why? Because I'm better at it. I'm efficient at it, and no one's gonna come in my house and be like, "Ooh, they got a dirty ass house." No, you're gonna come home and shit is gonna be proper and perfect. Ain't nobody gonna ever come in our household and be like, "Ugh, your wife keep a dirty ass house."
Fact.
Never.
But you know what?
Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
It needs to come.
No shade to Aaron, but if I was Aaron's husband, I ain't cleaning shit. Okay? Like shout out to Darren, that's my guy. He's a cool guy.
Shout
If
out.
I was Darren, I ain't cleaning shit in this house. You hear me? No.
Why?
No, I don't agree with that. As a man, person, listen, I want the woman to help. I don't want her to be my mother. A mother's the one cleaning up after everything you do. Can you clean up after me? Sure. And I'm going to clean up after you. We're going to work together. But yeah, the big chores, like the big chores, right? The vacuuming, the scrubbing the tub, the cleaning the bathroom. Like, I might do things here. Like, you know, I might sweep a floor. I might wash some dishes. I don't mind helping out. I'm going to help. You know what I'm saying? But the more she makes my life easier, that's the help. I don't want her to take care of me completely, even though that would be nice. I'm not saying that's wrong. I've been with girls like that too, that do everything, and that's well received, and I reciprocate for that. But I'm just letting you know too that you're gonna have help. If you're on my team, you're gonna have help. We're gonna have the money, you're gonna have the help, you're gonna get the D, you're gonna get everything. And there's a lot of high value men like me, and we think like this. So pay attention.
Because nigga, I get that bag. You hear me?
Get a bag too.
It's cool. It's cool you get the bag. I ain't saying that you don't, but my bag goes to here. my bag goes to here.
You need life skills, you need fundamentals, and I think that's the biggest thing that's been happening in relationships that is creating so much.
That people don't have life skills?
Yeah, we lost it because our whole life
Is on the internet?
valuations went on the internet.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Oh.
That's what we
Okay.
got value.
Gotcha.
Everybody is getting their appraisal from the internet. It's
Okay, we've complained enough. What is the solution?
the solution is like get some life skills, my opinion.
So I think that is okay, so that's the solution is
Laps on these girls.
the solution is master the fundamentals. So in order to get to that solution, there has to be a complete mind change in how parents are raising their kids. You can't teach your son, where you can go out and play sports and you can go out and do this and that, but baby girl, you got to make sure you know how to cook. You got to make sure you know how to clean X, Y, and Z. Like, you have to raise these kids the exact same. And the things that no one's doing that, even though
No. You put the boys for the boy roles, you put the women for the women roles, and it's okay. If you want to, listen, if you don't want to be a wife, then yeah, fine. Your parents shouldn't raise you to be one, right? A lot of people's parents right now are raising them to be boss babes, and that's exactly what they became. Women who think their money is king, therefore, if they got money, they're the king. Right? We already have that, and we've seen how that experiment went. It's going horribly. We need to stop this. You know, some people in their country, America's not the only country. I know y'all think this is the only part of the world. We're the center of the universe. But the reality of it is we're a small part, right? We're like a couple percent of the population. We're 300 million people, and there's like 7 billion people, okay? We're a small part of that, okay? And in other people's countries, they still have a traditional role where women at a young age are learning how to take care of men by helping serve the family during like dinner time. When they all have dinner together, the girl children will go serve the boy children. The boy children will sit down and women will serve them. And that girl's learning how to serve her family and her man. Yeah, they learn that from a young age. And those boys are trained and raised to protect their sister. So it's a good exchange. They're protecting the sister, and the sister, as a reciprocation of that, she serves them because she knows they got their back, right? See, y'all want us to die for y'all for free. We're not doing that. If I'm gonna die for a girl, risk my life, you know what I'm saying, put myself at jeopardy, and my family's gonna lose me for you. You better be a Proverbs 31 woman to the T. You better be quiet. You better follow my lead. You better be positive, optimistic. You better be happy. You better be a pleasure to be around. You got, like what she was talking about, what she's describing, no one gonna come to this house saying this is a dirty ass house. I like that. Yeah, I want a woman that takes that much ownership of the cleaning responsibilities. That's a great assistant. Yeah, can we have a cleaning lady, and can we have a personal chef and all stuff like that? Yeah, sure. But then we're gonna be doing less of the stuff that, to me, family does together. If you're sitting around and everything just maids and it's all about being a master and we have a bunch of slaves, what kind of lifestyle really is that? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind having help. I'm not saying I'm never going to have cleaning people, right? But do we really want people in our space 24/7 no matter how much money we got? Do you really want someone walking around? The cleaning people, like, I don't know about you, but when the cleaning people around, your eyes are kind of on them because you're like, these people might still, even if they've been with you for a while, you still kind of, you don't want them to move something out of place. And that's how I feel. So I would prefer to be with a woman that wants to clean and cook all in-house. And that's part of the skills that she brings.
Would you raise your son and your daughter the exact same?
Yes, and I do.
In today's day?
Yes, and I do. I think this, Aaron, and I'm not trying to trump what you're saying. I think that's an old school mentality. I think people, in order to really have that reprogramming, is that people need to stop, in the words of Alan, don't drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? It's not the parents. I think kids turn 18, 19, and then they see Rico, and they see Rico walking on a yacht with 5-6 women, and he goes, it's okay to have 5-6 women. Let me go do what is necessary to get that. So now that kid, he can't figure out how to get the money, so he starts scamming.
No.
Listen.
These are not logical sequences, okay? If someone scams, it's not because they've seen Rico on a boat with 5 women, okay? Other people go out there and actually start a business. Listen, illegal hustle, I understand it's a big thing in our community, but legal hustle should be a bigger thing. To me, if you want to actually be gangster is be able to get money and no one can do nothing about it, right? The cops let you go. Like, that's the fire play. That's gangster to me. When you're wealthy and you're rich and no one could do nothing about it. Buying new cars, buying new whips, going traveling, you know what I'm saying? You have financial freedom. You could defend yourself against frivolous lawsuits. You got lawyers on deck. Right? That's how you use wealth. You don't, this idea that, I'm going to get some money, I'm going to do anything for the money. It's a hood mentality. I get it. But no, that's not a logical conclusion that, I see someone wealthy, I'm going to rob somebody. This type of attitude towards success, we need to get rid of that for sure.
What I'm saying, same thing with the girl. There's girls that see other girls, right, with the top guys and all that, and they're like, well, how did she get him? She's naked on Instagram. Let me get naked on Instagram. And people are literally following others' footsteps to try to emulate their results. And that's what's happening. It ain't them kids. It's just the simple fact that the results and the desire is overriding people's moral compass of their character.
You know what this goes back to? At home.
Core values.
Core values. Like, you know who told me that I need to start saving to get a house? My parents. You know who told me that I should go to college, pick a career that aligned with my...
But what if you don't...
But just listen. You literally just said it, Alan.
What if you don't live in a good home?
I'm talking about Aaron Campbell, right? So we're saying, go along the lines what you just said.
Kids.
Yeah, like...
If we're talking about we're giving game.
Exactly. Right. Like, it starts at home. I don't care what nobody says. And even if you aren't in a great home, it starts with mentorship, somebody, in your life who can give you game, who can show you how to finesse, who can give you nuggets to help you figure life out. Some people...
We could just read. I think the biggest problem is none of us read. Listen, a lot of skills I developed, I'm going to keep it real with you, I found inside a book. If you guys want some of my book recommendations, check out my Amazon affiliate link below. I do get a small commission of whatever you buy. Thank you. It supports the channel, and Amazon loves me because of it. But check out my link below. You're going to see a lot of the books that I represent when it comes that I recommend. I said represent a lot of books that I recommend when it comes to personal health, right, and personal finance. Those are two big things that people should focus on. But I think we need to read more. I really do. I think this idea that we could just get around the world having conversations and personal mentorship, you could do that. But when you read the book, it's like getting the mentorship of one of the great thinkers of the past. You know what I'm saying? I read books from the 1800s. I read books from the early 1900s, right? I read books from all types of eras, you know what I'm saying? From all different wonderful minds. And there's a lot of good information out there. And we can improve ourselves. Like Emotional Intelligence, a great book. I believe the dude's name is Daniel Goldhammer or Goldham, something like that. Don't quote me, okay? But I read that book a couple times. It helped me understand that not just because you have a certain stimuli in your life doesn't mean you have to react a certain way, right? You could actually decide not to react to certain things that happen to your life. That way is not what happens to you, it's who you become. Your life is not determined by you always reacting to something. You could be proactive and decide that whatever happens in this world, you're going to live this type of life. That's like deciding today that even if someone tries to be a roadblock in your life and harass you and provoke you, you're just going to ignore them. Right? I do it all the time. We should do this as kids. I don't know if you know that. I mean, if you had siblings or not, but I remember siblings, when you're young siblings, you're trying to harass and annoy them and bother them and just play with your siblings, right? And one of the things I remember doing when I was younger was like when I didn't want to play with them anymore, I would stop letting them provoke me and I would just ignore them. And kids respond very well to being ignored. It makes them stop their behavior because ultimately they want attention. So you could ignore a child. As another kid, you could ignore someone and actually change their behavior. And that to me is a leadership quality. I've learned that from emotional intelligence, that two people could have the same exact stimuli but two different responses. You could see a ferocious dog and run and be scared. Another person could see a ferocious dog and actually approach it and actually feel calming. It reminds them of their family dog growing up. You never know. Same dog, same scary dog, right? Different outcome, different reaction. And so you could choose the reaction. The stimuli doesn't have to determine where you end up at life. And that's what we do too much in life, that, oh, I was from this environment, so this had to happen. You know, I had this exact discussion in a barbershop today. A lot of people feel compelled to be a certain way because of their origin. They don't look at life as like, all right, my life is going to be a series of choices I make. If I make better choices, I'll have a better life. I don't care if I started off with disadvantages. I don't care about that, you know? And that to me is what a woman should try to bring to the table. Look, if you're going to bring anything to the table in a relationship, you're going to bring structure and growth as a man. You want, honestly, a lot of women don't want to stay stagnant. They want mobility in their life. So they want to, if you guys start off at 50K, I know they want you to be at 100K. Not every man can do that. But if you feel like a diamond bachelor, a high value man, you need to work towards becoming better every single day. You know, because clearly the more money you make, the less you got to bring to the table. Right? I'm trying to do both because I love this life. Life is a game to me, and I love playing it. So I love getting new hobbies. I love learning new skills. I love all this stuff. I heard about that plane crash. I know there's a huge plane crash. Rest in peace to the passengers of that Wichita, Kansas flight. I forgot number 5342, something like that. That flight that went down in Washington, D.C. Tragic, right? But I still want to learn how to fly. I'm still going to get my pilot license. It's going to cost me $10,000 to do it. I'm going to use my YouTube revenue to buy my pilot license. It's very expensive, but I still want to learn how to fly, even though it's dangerous, because that's another skill in my bucket list. Learn how to fly, be an armed citizen, right? So I'm not learn marksmanship, go right to the range, okay? I like boxing, so I've been boxing for the last 3 years. Learn how to fight. Just as a man, you got to stay dangerous, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I encourage men to bring more to the table than a little bit. Be a valuable man. Be irreplaceable. And then you want to deal with conversations like the girls doing this, like, oh, if you bring 50K, you got to... Man, you have higher standards than that for yourself. These standards that women put on men ain't nothing. You should be above that. You should try to earn way more than they could ever potentially desire you to make, right? The girl talking about 50K in a month. I'm trying to make 50K in a year. I'm trying to make 50K in a month. Straight up. I know hey, might not be your cup of tea. I understand, but in this game of life, if you could choose where you're going to be as far as income bracket, you like I said, your life is a sum of your choices. I'm choosing to be rich. Y'all can choose to be middle class. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.